those things as opportunities, and with their hard work, determination, and will to change, make the great out of them and create them into opportunities and become the light bearers of change. So, in every situation, we should try to become a better version of ourselves and try not to complain, and instead become the change bearers. Today, our Toastmaster of the day would be telling us how we can become better changers and light bearers of the nation, but she would be sharing her tips and tricks. But before calling her, I would like to call our newest member of our club, Toastmaster Shubham Rastogi, to share his opinion why he joined Toastmasters and a brief introduction about himself before starting his Toastmasters journey. So over to you, Toastmaster Shubham, and I would request you to please turn on your video.
Thank you for the welcome, Master Bhavya. So, I'm not much familiar of the rules, how you call each other, so I'll get used to them. It's very good that you have set up a, kind of a discipline of calling each other by calling master or, president and all. I'll get used to it. About me, I'm a chartered accountant, and the reason I joined Toastmaster is, it's been a while that I've worked upon myself, improving intellectually, improving my communication and leadership skills. So mainly it's like earlier we used to have the platform of communicating and improving on ourselves, but once you go into your professional life, you don't get time to work upon yourself or improve or meet new people. The main reason is to learn from what the platform is offering us. We don't get such platforms. Meetings are no way to communicate better. Official meetings are definitely not. But such kind of forums help you to think aloud. So, like the topic is the ability to change. I will never spare 2 to 3 hours on such a topic individually. But the forum over here helps us to, think over it. I had to cancel a few of my meetings just to ensure I could attend this. And I hope everybody must have, taken out time to do this. And I really appreciate the, efforts put in to keep the club going and, keeping it live. Thanks. That is from my side.
Thank you, Shubham. It was very great to hear your opinions and importance for Toastmasters for you. And I'm sure you will have a beautiful Toastmasters journey ahead. So now I would like to take the introduction of guests who are joining us today. So starting with guest Jivitesh Singh, you can just give a short introduction about how you got to know about our club and your intent behind joining us today.
Hi, and thank you for inviting me over. My name is Jivitesh Singh, and I'm a first-year law student at IP University, main campus, Dwarka. And I got to know about Toastmasters back in Muscat when I was in Gavin's club. Not for long; it was just for a month or so. And then I get tensed when I speak, and I need to work on it because now that I'm gonna become a lawyer, it's very important for my profession too. That's it. That's my main motive to join Toastmasters.
That's very right, guest Jivitesh, and I'm sure you would now join to be a Toastmasters very soon. And to your surprise, we have a Gavelian with us today, Gavelian Mannat Kaur, and I think we all know her, so we won't be taking her introduction. So now I would be handing over the stage to our Toastmaster of the day, which is the host for our meeting. She's a chemistry teacher, and she would be teaching us how we can be torch bearers of change in our life. So without wasting any time, let's put our hands together for Toastmaster Jaya. Over to you. You are on mute, Toastmaster Jaya.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bhavya. So, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, it is my privilege and pleasure to welcome you all to the Delhi One Toastmasters Club. Leaders are torchbearers. They bring purpose, meaning, and clarity to the whole reason for the change in the first place. They become the torchbearers. While taking risk, you have to pursue other people to come along. You will find some fellow travelers will jump on, and some will put roadblocks to slow down the things. Today's theme for the Toastmaster is be the torchbearer of change. Our great patriots and educationists have worked for nation building and carried out work in the field of education and many other fields for our nation building. Now, I would like to connect some torchbearers in our life we come across. The main three, there will be many in everyone's life, but the main three I would like to connect. First, torchbearers are the parents. Parents, they hold the tiny fingers and they become our guiding light till we become independent. And let me tell you, even if we become independent, they are always there as torchbearers and strong, rock solid, they stand behind us. The next torchbearer after our infancy, when we go to school, teachers are the second torchbearers who take their disciples from the darkness to ignorance, to light, and from ignorance to knowledge. And sometimes when we cross path with in our life, in different phases of life, you will come across some mentor or some mentors in the form of our peers, and like we have even mentors in our Toastmasters, and who help us to sail through by holding our hand. So like that, we have 3 segments in the Toastmaster. I would like to explain the structure of the meeting. The meeting is divided into 3 segments, the way I told parents, teachers, and mentors that we come across. The first is the prepared speech, where the members will be delivering speeches based on the projects and the paths they have chosen. The second part of the session is the table topic segment, where members can practice thinking and speaking skills. This segment is known as the impromptu speech section. Guests are welcome to participate in this as well. The third and the final is the evaluation segment, in which all the prepared speeches as well as other aspects of the session will be evaluated by the general evaluator. In Toastmasters, auxiliary role players ensure that we are moving on the right track. First auxiliary role player is Toastmaster Alok Khajur, who is working in Delhi Metro for the past 6 years, and he joined Toastmasters to change his the life that had become monotonous after lockdown. According to him, the torchbearers of change, as well as we know that change is one thing that is constant in one's life. Toastmaster Alok Khajur.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jaya. So today's theme is about change. Am I audible? Hello?
Yes, hello.
Okay.
Audible.
So today's theme is about change. Is it possible that time passes and yet nothing at all is happening or changing in the entire universe? I guess the answer is no. It is a logical truth that change and time are inseparable. Time changes everything and changes take time. So time stops everything from happening at once. Because if everything happened at once, our world or universe would be in a permanent state of self-contradiction and chaos. And so as the timer for today's meeting, I will make sure that no such chaos happens out of the blue in our meeting, and our meeting runs according to the agenda. So in the prepared speech section, the time limit for first speech is 4 to 6 minutes. At the end of 4 minutes, I will change my background to green, followed by yellow at 5 minutes, and red at the end of 6 minutes. For the second speech, the time limit is 5 to 7 minutes. At the end of 5 minutes, I will change my background to green, followed by yellow at 6 minutes, and red at the end of 7 minutes. For today's table topic session, the time limit for every speaker is 2 to 3 minutes. At the end of 2 minutes, I will change my background to green, followed by yellow 2.5, and red at the end of 3 minutes. For the speech evaluations, the time limit for every evaluator is 2 to 4 minutes. At the end of 2 minutes, I will change my background to green, followed by yellow at 3 minutes, and red at the end of 4 minutes. There's a grace time of 30 seconds after the red background is shown each time to wrap up your speeches. So thank you, and I will come back with my report towards the end of the meeting. Back to Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Alok. To keep track of the R's and ums during the meeting, we have the R counter of the day, Toastmaster George Dev Burman. He works in L&T as planning engineer for the last 5 years. According to him, the change is inevitable. If you don't change, the time will change you. Toastmaster George Dev Burman.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Don't wait to give up the good for the great. James Pauline. Okay. So good evening, dear Toastmaster and my dear guest. So my name is George, and today I'm the accountant for the meeting. For the benefit of the house, let me tell you or explain you about that role or purpose of this accountant. Whenever we speak, we use filler words like but this whenever we are speaking, these small things are like visible or evident. So for that the listener can clearly listen these words. Okay, so the accountant help to polish the language by identifying these filler words. And along with that, I will note down all the words that is inappropriate interjections. You like while speaking, we use that kind of words like and, well, but, lot of time. So I will note down all these words that will use as a crutch, and I will present my report end of the meeting. Thank you, Toastmaster of the day.
The third auxiliary role player is Toastmaster Devashish to keep the good and not so good usage of grammar. We have the language evaluator of the day, Toastmaster Devashish. According to him, he believes that every human carries the ability to bring about a vital change in the world. And it doesn't matter how small or big the change is, as long as the mankind strongly holds the torch. Devashish is an explorer besides being into the corporate commotion. Over to Toastmaster Devashish.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Hope I am audible. So knowledge of language is the doorway to the wisdom, and without wisdom, the change is far-fetched. Uh, Good evening to all the Toastmasters and the guests. I am the appointed as the language evaluator of the evening, and being the language evaluator, I give you the word of the day to be flawsome. It means that accepting your flaws and believing that you are awesome regardless. For example, it's not it's not important to be perfect, but it's important to accept your flaws and be flawsome. There is also an idiom of the day, which is out of the blue. Out of the blue means unexpectedly or without warning. For example, second wave of coronavirus hit India out of the blue when everything seemed under control. I will be also checking with the good usages of the word and bad usages of the word. And I would request all of you to use the word of the day and idiom of the day as much as possible to improve your vocabulary and use it throughout the week, not only today evening. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Last but not the least, the auxiliary role player for being a good listener is Toastmaster George Deb Burman. For not only our speaking skills require good, is good for communication, but at the same time, listening skills are also important. Over to Toastmaster George Dave.
That's the most like being a communicator. Listening, not only listening, that's called empathy. Listening. And listening, try, you are not listening somebody to only respond. You are listening. The important thing is that you listen the person, you understand he's saying. So as a listener, my role is a listener. I will everything whatever is discussed in this meeting, and at the end of the meeting, I will conduct a little quiz where I will be asking few questions to you, to everyone, to check how much
Thank you, Toastmaster George Dave. Now we move to the first segment of Toastmasters, that is the prepared speeches segment. Like I told, parents, they are the guiding light for the infants. And when they become adults, and even after they start their life and they fly out of the nest, still the parents, they are there for them. For the first speech, I invite Toastmaster Karthik Mishra, the evaluator for the first speech, to specify the project objectives of speaker 1. Toastmaster Karthik Mishra.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster Gunjan Agarwal will give a speech on project, will give an icebreaker speech on project presentation mastery. The purpose of the speech is of the project is for the Toastmaster to introduce herself to the club and learn the basic structure of public speech. The title of the speech is Doubt Box. The time given is 4 to 6 minutes. Over to Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Karthik. In today's meeting, the first speaker of the meeting is Toastmaster Gunjan Agarwal, who is currently pursuing Masters in English and is a blogger and a chocolatier. Toastmaster Gunjan believes that every human carries the ability to bring about a vital change in the world, and it doesn't matter how small or big the change is, as long as the mankind strongly holds the torch. Toastmaster Gunjan is going to present her icebreaker speech of presentation mastery. The title of the speech is Doubt Box. Doubt Box, Toastmaster Gunjan Agarwal, Doubt Box, Toastmaster Gunjan Agarwal. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Timer may start according to timing. Ma'am, I have a doubt. Why do we have to add these numbers? Ma'am, what is the significance of the ending of this story? Sir, what is the meaning of this word? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I would like to tell you about a little but significant part of my life, which I have titled as Doubt Box. What you just saw me doing was a little glimpse of my early school days. As a child, I've always been the kind of student who believed in clarifying doubts at hand and giving my maximum attention in the class. Now I'll jump forward to the day which stirred up a change in my life. I believe that you will relate to me when I say that sometimes in life you come across an incident which seems so petty and so insignificant, but leaves a pretty deep impact in your life. It was that day. Things were going absolutely fine until one fine day, my maths teacher, who was quite strict and not a pleasant person, shouted at me with exact these words. Gunjan, will you stop asking questions and stop being such a doubt box? That's it. Things changed. As impulsive as the statement might have been from a teacher, it was a highly embarrassing moment for me. And being the sensitive 12-year-old child that I was, it affected me a lot. Since that day, it was as if the name Gunjan somehow just disappeared into thin air. And my new name was, well, Doubt Box, also known as BB. Your notebook must be with BB. Hey BB, what did you get for lunch today? This whole DB thing might have become normal for everybody else in the class, not for me. Suddenly, I was this different person, and a person I was certainly not quite comfortable and happy with. I feared raising my hand to answer a question, let alone asking a doubt. But as I grew up, the impact of this whole incident gradually began to fade away, and somehow the essence stayed with me. Or maybe I chose not to let that essence go away. Probably because of this very essence of being a doubt box made me who I am today. Like I said, small thing, big impact. Today, that small incident makes me realize the impact that a teacher carries in the life of a student, and how one single word coming from a teacher can either make things really easy or really hard for a student. Today, I'm an educator and an aspiring professor, and being a doubt box, without a doubt, has shaped up my career in an unimaginable way. Yes, to be a good educator, you need to have a strong hold on your subject content. You must have a command over your communication skills, but over and above, you must have the quality to empathize and understand your students. And I'm honestly and immensely thankful to the day which gave me this new name. Because had it not been for that day, I, as an educator, would never have understood the importance of true learning. I firmly believe that if you wish to justify the beautiful human life that you're blessed with, you must carry the just and the passion for learning. And you can, and you learn only when you dare to question things around you and yearn for an answer. As an educator, taking into account the power and responsibility that I have to transform the lives of little ones around me, my very first aim is to develop a healthy learning environment in the classroom. And I just give one single piece of advice to my students. Ask your questions without questioning your question. At present, as a blogger and as an educator, I love questioning and learning new things. I know the value that money and designation holds in life, but more than that, I want to value the ability to think and communicate with people, value the experiences that this world has got to offer. Because you see, you've got to learn and live your life, even when life seems like nothing but a little downwards. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gunjan. I request everyone to give feedback for the speaker, for which you have 45 seconds. Toastmaster Alok, is the time over?
Yes, 45 seconds are over. "45 seconds are over, Toastmaster Jain." Can you hear me?
Was it through some kind of a poll or something? I could not see anything.
No, the feedback link has been posted in the chat. I'll post it again. It's a form. If you just click on that, you'll be taken to the.
Okay, fair enough. Got it. Thanks.
Now I invite for our second speaker, speech evaluator is Tito Matthews, who is going to specify the speech objectives of speaker 2. Over to Toastmaster Tito Matthews.
Good evening, everyone. Today, the speaker is delivering speech from the path Innovative Planning, Level 3 project using descriptive language. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice writing a speech with an emphasis on adding language to increase interest and impact. Timer, please note, time allotted is 5 to 7 minutes. My best wishes to the speaker.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tito Matthews. Our second speaker of the day is Toastmaster Sajal Jain, who is going to present her speech, Stop Mocking. Sajal is a person you would find her in a corner of the room. She loves to explore, eat, and play chess. She believes that you can't change the world unless you change yourself. Your attitude determines how the next generation will turn out to be. The tiniest bit by 7 billion people can make a huge difference. I welcome Toastmaster Sajal Jain. The title of her speech is Stop Mocking. Sajal, Toastmaster Sajal Jain, stop mocking, stop mocking. Toastmaster Sajal Jain, over to you.
Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster. Today I want to ask you, have you ever felt not good enough? Have you ever thought that you don't deserve to live in this world? Have you ever cried helplessly and faked a smile when someone asked you, "Are you okay?" Have you ever felt hopeless, devastated, heartbroken? I guess the world isn't a fair place indeed, and each one of us has at some point felt one of these emotions. Sia is a 14-year-old girl. She is kind, empathetic, and smart, but she is very self conscious of her weight. One day, she goes to her friend Sam's birthday party. All her friends are in a group, chatting and playing. And here's how that conversation goes. "It's been super long, no, when we haven't met. Yeah, it's so good to see you all." Just when they were about to sit, Sam shouted, "Sia, don't sit. The chair will break if you sit on it." Funny, isn't it? Everyone laughed, including Sia, and somehow the afternoon soon got over. Tears came into Sia's eyes when she looked in the mirror. She cried. After almost half an hour of crying, she went to bed, empty stomach, as she couldn't bring herself to eat anything that day. Somehow the night ended. Now, next day, she went to school like nothing happened. This day, there was a cultural day program in school, and our Sia, she loved to dance. She wanted to become a dancer someday. So she went to her teacher and asked her to write her name down for a dance competition. "Ma'am, can you please write my name down?" Her teacher, looking her from top to bottom, said, "Sia, are you sure you can dance?" Everyone in the class mocked. Sia went to the washroom and wept. Her dream of becoming a dancer got lost somewhere. 1 week forward, she goes to her mom to buy a dress for her brother's wedding. And as she is trying on a dress to fit in at the store, the salesman came running hurriedly and said, "Ma'am, please go away. This store isn't for fat women." Sia, the entire store giggled when the salesman said this. Sia, on seeing this, felt devastated and went to her own room, shut down the entire world, and thought about all the comments that came to her mind at a splash of a second. "Sia, don't sit. The chair will break if you sit on it." "Sia, are you sure you can dance?" "Ma'am, please go away. This store isn't for fat women." Do you realize whose fault was it that Sia felt so helpless, so hopeless? The foremost names that comes to mind are Sia's friend Sam, who insulted her, her teacher who refused to put her name down, and that salesman who mocked her. But there are more culprits here. They include the entire group of friends that laughed when Sia felt devastated, the entire class of students when her teacher mocked at her, and the entire showroom which giggled when the salesman insulted her. Now, today, I have an experiment for you all. This is a blank paper, and I want each one of you to say really mean things to it. Things that if somebody tells you, you would feel really upset. You can say any sarcastic remark or any mean comment that you like. Please go ahead.
"You are so ugly."
You're so blank, so pale.
"You are of no use."
Thank you, everyone. Look at this paper. Even if I unfold it, it never comes to its original state. The scars are still there. This is what happens to Sia's heart. Those words she will remember forever. And it will result in low self-esteem. Her dream of becoming a dancer has got lost somewhere. How many dreams will we kill this way? 2 lines of Hindi comes to my mind when I see Sia. जिंदगी भर चुपता है, जिंदगी भर चुपता है, छोटी सी उम्र में टूट जाना, which basically translates to it hurts your whole life, the scars that you bear in childhood. The thing is that this mockery is hidden. These comments are so subtle that we don't even realize that we are doing something in the wrong place, that we're doing something wrong in the first place. There is a time for change. And you know why I say that? Yesterday, I was walking in my society. It has been pretty gloomy and pretty quiet here. We have lost around 25 lives here. And as I was walking, a thought came to my mind. How agonized, how painful it is when somebody dies, yet how unconcerned we are by the way they live. I guess now you know that there is a need for change. But what to do then? How to realize that what we are doing is wrong? So, whenever you are thinking of a sarcastic comment or a remark or mocking somebody, or if you are thinking of making a snide remark or thinking of making your eyes roll at somebody, just think to yourself first that how would it feel if somebody does the exact same thing to you? And you will get your answer. Because that fat can be reduced, those crooked teeth can be fixed, that burnt skin can be cured, but those words, they remain forever. So stop mocking if you see yourself as mocking somebody. Stop it. And if you see yourself as a part of gigglers or mockers who are embarrassing somebody, take a stand. Please don't stay silent. Because Mahatma Gandhi once said that in a gentle way, you can shake the world. And taking a cue from our Toastmaster of the day today, let's be the torch bearers of change. That's all from my side. Over to you, Toastmaster Jaya.
That was great. Thank you, Toastmaster Sajal Jain. I would request Tech Master to launch the poll for the best speaker.
Yes, I'm launching it. Sudeep,
I've launched it.
okay. Five people are left to vote. You can quickly vote. Okay. So the poll has ended. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bhavya. Now we are moving into our second segment, that is table topic segment. If we look at a single candle, it can defy both darkness and it can also define darkness. In our life, teachers are the torch bearers. They prepare us for our life. Let me share that I have become a chemistry teacher because of a special torch bearer in my life. Let me tell you, I used to get below 33%. I was till class 8, 9, I was never able to understand a single thing in chemistry. But a single teacher made me score marks that is no one can ask, but made me face life, and chemistry became my bread and butter. But also, I can share the chemistry with my students and others. It's not only the subject chemistry, but chemistry. To provide us with challenge for today's table topic segments, we have table topic master Bhavya, who will be conducting the session today. Bhavya, when I asked her that what she thought, what is her thought about the today's theme, she said, we all want some change in our surrounding or society, but we always wait for others to take steps for it, assuming it's their duty to do so. The ball keeps rolling. Everyone thinks the same, waiting for others to take the step. If we think there is something that needs a change, we need to be the torch bearers for the same. Just thinking is not enough. To lead as a symbol of courage, leading a change is a symbol of courage. Not having a herd mentality and following your dream shows how alive you are. These are the people who bring a change in the society, the people who challenge the status quo. Over to the table topic master for the day, Toastmaster Bhavya.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shreya. So there are situations in life when we think that I should stand up for this thing or I should bring a change about this thing, but we often fail to have the courage to do so. So today I will be giving you situations we often face in our life about the things that are really important and needs a change in our society. So I would be calling members or guests in pairs of two, and I would be giving a situation, and that pair would have to do a role play of the situation. So one of them would be trying to convince the other person to bring about that change. So the timings for the same would be 2 to 3 minutes. Instead of usually we have 1 to 2 minutes, but today in this special table topics, we would be having timings 2 to 3 minutes with a upper grace period of 30 seconds on the upper hand. And also don't forget to use the word of the day, flossom, and the phrase of the day, out of the blue. So now I would be like to call the first two volunteers for the table topics.
I'll volunteer, Bhavya.
Sure, Toastmaster Shubham, and I would also like to call upon Toastmaster Ankur.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, great. So choose a number between 1 to 5.
3.
Okay. One number. Shubham, you tell.
You can go with it.
Okay, so I will go with number 4. So the topic is one of you. So it is a conversation between a son and his father. One of you want to reveal to his father that he is homosexual, but his father doesn't believe in all these things and want to take him to a doctor. So one of you want to reveal your father that you are homosexual and the father doesn't believe in all these things and wants to take to the doctor. Toastmaster Shubham and Toastmaster Ankur, over to you. You can decide who wants to become what. You can take 10 seconds.
Yeah, I'll be the father.
Okay, so Ankur will be the father and you, Shubham, you will be the son. And you can start.
So hi son, how are you? How are things going?
I'm good, Papa. There is something I need to talk to you about.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about it for so long now, and the things are not moving in the right direction for me.
Then you have come to the right place. Tell me what happened.
Papa, everybody is not perfect. People are flossom. and I consider myself to be the one. And there is one sensitive topic I need to talk to you about.
Yeah,
Generally, I know it's a myth in our society, but I am homosexual. I'm not attracted toward girls. I like boys. I like men. I know, please don't be mad. This might be a little hard for you to understand because of such patriarchal society, but this is the change that we need to bring in our society. Everybody has legalized this, even the Supreme Court has legalized it. But please kindly understand this. I know you can think better for me, and this is I really want to be.
well, that does seem to be out of the blue, but that's totally okay, son. I just want to have a couple of questions. Are you comfortable sharing it with me and your mother, or is it that you want to just keep it to yourself? It was just that you wanted to run it by me. And
Things are moving, things are changing in our society as well, and sooner or later everything will fall in pieces. I don't want it to keep it to myself. Let the society change and adapt to this, like everybody has done it till yet.
well, yeah, you said everyone is blossom. I would like to meet you to one of my friend who is also a doctor. He's a psychiatrist and who specializes in helping those who find it difficult to come out of this space, and they are not sure how to tell others and how to fit into a society which is generally not accepting. So maybe you can meet him. He's Uncle John. He will be able to help you how to go about it, how to not feel underconfident, and how to not feel intimidated by others who do not believe in such things. So I am totally in support of you, son. But I would surely want you to meet him so that you come out of this fear, and also you are not shy about it. You are open about it. You accept it.
I'll meet him. I'll meet him in person, but I'll be very honest with you. I'm confident about my decision, and I can handle the situation with the society. I will try to gel up with my friends about this, and I'll be open to it.
I'm so proud of you, my son. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shubham and Toastmaster Ankur. You both did amazing role play. So now I would be calling upon the second two volunteers. So you can nominate yourself, or I will call myself. Okay, so I can see Toastmaster Gunjan raising her hand. And okay.
Devashish also his hand earlier.
Okay, so I can see Mannat's hand right now. So Devashish, I will call you next time. So Toastmaster Gunjan and Gavelian Mannat. So Mannat, choose a number between 1 to 5 except 4.
2.
Sorry, I could not hear you.
Am I audible?
Yes.
2.
Okay, thank you. Mannat, it would be great if you can turn on your video.
I'm not in a position right now. There's a lot of movement in my room and I am...
No issue. Okay, so your topic is that one of you is a student of grade 12 and you have just completed your board exams and want to pursue your career in dancing, but your parent wants you to pursue a more of a traditional career like engineering. One of you have just cleared your 12th boards and want to pursue a career in dancing, but your parent want to go for a traditional career like engineering. So you have to convince your parent. Over to you, Toastmaster Gunjan and Gavelian Mannat. You can decide among yourself who wants to do what role.
May I become the 12th grader and you can become my parent?
No.
Okay.
Okay, started. You can start whenever you want.
Right. Can I get 10 seconds more?
Okay, you can think for 10 seconds.
Right, I'm done. I'll start. Hey, mom, dad, I'm done with my board exams of class 12th, and now I am thinking of pursuing my passion now. And I'd like to go for dancing, and I'd like to pursue that. I'd like to go to the Keaton School of Arts in the United States to pursue that, because there have been really good reviews of that there. What is your opinion on the same?
Mannat Beta, I understand that you love dancing and I absolutely love your dance. But on a second thought, have you given more thought on your career? Like, think of a more secure position, right?
I'd like to elaborate. I would like you to elaborate a bit on your perspective more.
See, in my opinion, dancing and all is good, but it does not give you a safety and secure position in life. Like it won't ensure that you will get a particular amount of money for the rest of your life, right? So I think you should go for a more safe option like engineering. You're good in science as well.
Well, I think that science is somehow blocking my creativity and it's restricting it just to a level where I think I can go up to. I mean, I don't think I can portray myself best through science. Now, if you're saying that I'll have a more secure career if I go into some traditional or some professions like software engineering or a teacher or anything like a doctor, then I'd like to tell you that there are many other dancers in the world. I don't need to name them. I hope you're aware that they have a better and a secure career. And this is very, very simple. Now, every other person I meet personally is in a reputed place, is a doctor or a software engineer or a lawyer or a judge. But I want to stand out of the crowd, and I want to be someone who no one else wants. I want to take up a profession that many don't prefer. Only one out of some 10 people opt for dancing, and I want to be that one out of the crowd. And this is why I think I'd like to pursue that. Most of this is my passion that I've been following over the years. And
I
yeah.
understand your passion, Mannat. I really, really do. But I was so sure that you are going to take something like commerce and science after 12, and out of the blue, you are telling me that you want to become a dancer. I mean, that's a little hard for me to adjust. Yes, you can pursue dance as a side interest. I'm not saying no to that. You can definitely do that. I will encourage you myself. But at least you need to have a safe option. Go for something safe. I'm not saying for you to stop dancing, but I will also try and understand your passion better. But you will also have to compromise a little.
Well, I don't accept that. I mean, if you want me to take dance as my as something I do with my job, that is surely never going to be possible. We can only say that, but as our job, as we get into a job, the amount of work increases, and then the amount of time for anything is very difficult to take out. You take the example right now. I am in 12th. I had made a vow some years back that I'll do exercises every day. Am I able to take out the time now?
Okay,
No,
let's
because
do something. I
the
agree to
studies
it.
are very, very burdening now.
I agree to it. Let your dad come home and we'll have a more elaborate conversation on that.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gunjan and Gavalian Mannat. I think your conversation was amazing. So, who wants to volunteer next?
I want to
Sure,
volunteer.
Sure, Karthik and Alok. So, you need to choose a number between 1, 3, and 5.
1.
Okay. So, you don't have to, you just don't have to think to be a specific gender. So, you can be anything. So, you are a husband and a wife, and you have been happily married since over 20 years, but the husband is not at all interested in the work of home, like even checking the door, who is at the door, he doesn't do that, and the wife is now tired of this and wants to have a conversation with his husband. So you are husband and wife, happily married since over 20 years, but the husband doesn't do the household work and the wife wants to have a conversation with the husband. So over to you, Toastmaster Karthik and Toastmaster Alok. You can decide who wants to be a husband or a wife.
Alok, who do you? I want to be a husband.
Okay, I will be the wife.
Okay, thank you.
Alok, you start first.
So first of all, who will be taking care of the time?
Oh.
Bhavya, you can raise your hand when someone is up.
I think I can take care of time. No issues.
So, hi, Karthik, my sweetheart. You every time ask me to go to the door whenever someone comes. Why don't you go yourself and check if someone is at the door?
Don't you say I'm busy, Mama? I'm busy.
You are always busy. I do all the household work. I take care of our children. I do more work than you. So don't talk about work, please.
If I get time from my work, I will help you. Right now, I'm busy. My boss is nagging on me and I'm really busy. So please
You
cooperate.
always sit in front of a laptop, look at your WhatsApp chat. So this is how your time goes by. And you say that you have lots of work every day and every. Don't make such excuses. Please, you can help me. Every other husband help their wife. So why can't you?
Tomorrow is Saturday and then next day is Sunday. On Saturday, Sunday, after I will work. I will give you help from Monday to Friday. Please leave me. I'm busy in my work. So please cooperate.
It has been 4 years since we have got married, and you haven't taken me on out for in during weekends. So let's say tomorrow is Saturday. So you promise me to take out for a lunch or dinner. Do you promise that?
In these days, the corona is still there. I would rather like to order food from outside through Swiggy or Zomato, and then we will have a nice dinner, candlelight dinner, on Saturday night. And plus beer and whiskey, whatever you want to like for a drinks.
I love to go on a long ride with you on your bike. Would you like to do that?
First dinner and then Sunday bike ride.
Oh, don't talk about dinner. You always go to sleep after dinner. You don't even look at me after.
Okay, you're moving too
You are
fast.
expert in making excuses, Karthik, sweetheart.
Okay, we will do. Fine.
Okay.
I guess time is up.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Alok and Toastmaster Karthik. I think, Alok, we don't have more time for table topics, right?
No, we have consumed all our time.
Okay, so now I would request Tech Master if the polls are ready. Or if we need time, we can proceed.
I want time.
Okay, so I would like to hand over the stage to Toastmaster Jaya, the Toastmaster of the day. Over to you, Toastmaster Jaya.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bhavya. That was indeed a wonderful session that we had. Next, we reach the third segment, that is the evaluation segment. Mentors become the bearers of the torch. who help us to discover ourselves in quest of knowledge. They help us in improving our communication skills. They give us the confidence. They are our moral boosters. The general evaluator of the day, we have Toastmaster Rolly. The next part of our meeting is an important segment of a Toastmasters meeting. In this segment, constructive feedback is given to each speaker as well as to the overall meeting conduct so that members can benefit from the experience of evaluators so that they become better speakers. For this, Toastmaster Rolly is going to conduct the session. According to Toastmaster Rolly, she believes that those who are convinced that they are on the right path have the confidence to proceed on their path chosen and have clarity about where the path will lead, are the true torch bearers of change. I would now like to hand over the session to our general Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Rolly.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the meeting. Let's have a round of applause for our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Jaya Ganguly. So I truly believe one thing, that to err is human, but to be flawsome is a Toastmaster. And I'm not saying this just for effect or for a joke or just to make our grammarian happy. The reason why I believe this is so is because we know our faults, because somebody lays those faults out in front of us and then also tells us how we can improve upon those faults and which direction we should take for our future endeavors. That's how, with all our flaws, we become awesome. And flawsome is the word of the day and the word of all Toastmasters. Before I continue, may I just request everyone to please mute, because actually I'm having a little difficulty in hearing even myself. Thank you so much. So the evaluation segment for every Toastmasters meeting is designed to make sure that we understand all the things that went really well in the meeting and must be continued, must be proceeded with in the future meetings. And then certain things where we could improve, and there are some suggestions on how we can improve upon those. It's a good idea to listen to each one of your speech evaluators, each one of your Aussie role players, and track how you are progressing in the speech communication journey and even in your leadership journey. Are you really headed to where you wanted to achieve, or are you getting a little sidetracked? So let me first invite our speech evaluators who were dedicatedly listening to their speakers. The speech evaluators will be going in a specific fashion. First, they will be presenting the commendations, then a couple of points of recommendations, followed by commendations again, and then finally summarizing all the points so that the speaker has a very clear idea on what they want to work upon in future speeches. Our first speaker today was Toastmaster Gunjan Agarwal. Her speech evaluator is Toastmaster Karthik Mishra. Before I invite him, I'd just like all the members of the audience to give a round of applause to our speaker, because today was her icebreaker speech. If we had been in a physical room, we would all have given her a standing ovation. Let's all unmute for just 5 seconds and please give her a round of applause.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone.
It's a huge event for any Toastmaster, because this is how we embark upon our communications journey. Now I'd like to welcome Toastmaster Karthik to share his observations about Toastmaster Gunjan's speech. Toastmaster Karthik.
Thank you. Speaker Gunjan Agrawal had a good start for a speech title Doubt Box. I like the way she starts using situation, and her delivery of speech is well defined. We could be able to hear her voice clearly, and the tone was loud and clear. There was no pause, no any pause, no any stuck up on, which easily happens to respective icebreakers of any new Toastmaster, which is quite commendable. So I would clap on that. The only thing I observed that she might work on is she was had a nervous or serious face, so I need her to have a smiling face. So I would recommend that I would like to give a challenge that she needs to have a smiling face during the next speeches whenever she would give. Her speech was impactful, and the title was clearly well defined, and at least she was not in a doubt while giving a speech. So kudos to her. That's it from my side. Over to General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Karthik. Let's now move on to Toastmaster Tito Matthew, who will be evaluating Toastmaster Sajal Jain's speech. Toastmaster Tito.
Hi, good evening, everyone. So, stop mocking. Stop mocking. A very, very attractive words which gained immediate attention of the audience. Toastmaster Sajal Jain started with a question that whether we have ever mocked anyone. She gave very good examples. Sia's example, how she was mocked when she was going to sit in the chair. The second time when she was going for, she wanted to dance, how she was stopped by her own teacher. Instead of encouraging her, she was mocked by her own teacher. Her colleagues, her friends in the class, they mocked her. The third time when she was mocked was in the showroom where she was going to buy a dress. That shows the mentality of many of us, that how we judge people on the basis of their color or their size, their shape. And that is a topic she brought forward, which gained attention of everyone because we all could relate with it. Some of the good things that she did during the speech were, other than giving good examples, was hand gestures. Her hand gestures were very good. Having said that, when she was moving around or turning her head away just to show that she's communicating with someone, the voice was going down. Yes, I know that there is no collar mic for us to have that flexibility. So with the resources that we have to manage in such a way that the voice doesn't go up or down. And for that, accordingly, the stage movement needs to be done. So that is one recommendation. The second one was using Hindi during the speech. I don't think that is the right way. The language, I don't think it is allowed to be used. The third thing that I felt was she could have improved upon was the voice modulation. Yes, she used excellent words. The hand gestures were very good. The speech title was excellent. Having said that, the voice modulation, times when you have to raise your voice, and Sia, she was shattered, then bringing down the voice once again down. So that retains the interest of the audience. Their attention doesn't go away. So voice modulation, then not using other language. Third was moving your head direction. These are the three recommendations. However, creating a stage, that was the other good thing that she done. That she asking people to mock her made sure that the audience get involved in that speech. People started saying, and again, the attention of audience was gained. So these are some of the steps which I felt that made the speech superb. Yes, there were slight recommendations in them. Having said that, the speech today was colossal. I congratulate Toastmaster Sajal Jain for delivering such an excellent speech. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tito. Before I go on to taking our listener session and the auxiliary role play reports, I just like to talk a little bit about our evaluators today. So both the evaluators were extremely encouraging, and obviously they had observed and very carefully paid attention to whatever their speakers had demonstrated and spoken. I really like that attention means that the points that will come out during the evaluation will have a lot of value. I just like Toastmaster Karthik and everybody around here to concentrate on the how part of it. When we say that the speech has a defined structure, let us also explain how we came to that conclusion, because that will help all of the audience members also learn that technique and make sure that we also use that technique in our future speeches. Second, when we say have a more smiling face, it's a good idea to have a smiling face, but sometimes the speech may not demand it. The speaker may not think that the speech demands it. But in this respect, if we had also explained that the sense of humor was a little subtle and a little smile would have gone a long way in making sure that the joke lands on the audience very well. So the doubt box and the DB becomes a little more enhanced when that expression of smile is there, because then the speaker is inviting everybody to laugh with her. So that again, that how and why makes it easier for everyone to understand. Lastly, it's a good idea to end on a positive note, because that means that your speaker will be encouraged to take the stage again. But it's also a very good idea to summarize the entire evaluation, making good use of the time so that the speaker also understands exactly which points they have to focus on. Toastmaster Tito had an extremely attractive opening himself. He clearly demonstrated that he knows that an evaluation is also a speech, which has an opening, body, and conclusion. That was very well done. I would like to say that Hindi usage or any other regional language or any other non-English language is not allowed, is not correct. It is allowed provided it is translated. If there's too much use of another language, then we lose the connect with our audience, who may only understand English. That's the reason why English is recommended, just to bring everyone on the same page. It's not that we are not allowed to use Hindi. Sometimes the best things do come out in the language itself, and that originality cannot be taken away. And she did translate, so I think it's a point that we can commend our speaker with. Secondly, there's a challenge for each one of the evaluators. Avoid saying, having said that, but, however, when you're moving to your recommendations, move to your recommendations in such a smooth manner that the speaker knows that you're sharing observations and not an opinion. A table topic speech is an opinion. An evaluation is a set of observations. You can say, in my opinion, this would have been nice to do it this way when you're making a suggestion, but it's not a good idea to say da 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 da, but, because whatever was da 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 is now da 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 da. It's not going to have any good impact on the speaker. But I loved the evaluations and the observations that were made by both these speech evaluators. I'd like the tech master to please launch the poll for the evaluators. Toastmaster Karthik or Toastmaster Bhavya, either of you could launch it.
Yeah, okay, I will launch it.
Thank you.
Karthik has launched it. So you can vote for evaluators, Toastmaster Karthik or Toastmaster Tito. Four members are left to vote. Quickly vote so that we can proceed. So I am ending the poll now.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bhavya, and thank you, Toastmaster Karthik. Can we now have our listener and our counter to first conduct the listener session and then go on to deliver the our counters report? Toastmaster George, I hope you're able to switch on your video and unmute yourself.
Yes. Yes.
Could you just say a few words, George? Okay. George, we can see you, but I wasn't able to hear you clearly. Could you just say a few more words?
Can you?
Toastmaster George, how about switching off your video and then just trying out again, because your video is also frozen.
Hello?
George, are you able to hear me? Okay, I need some help from the tech master, either one of the host or co-host. Could you just work with Toastmaster George and maybe suggest to him that he can switch off the video and then come back to deliver his report and conduct his session? And we'll move on to the language evaluator for the time being.
Thank you,
Toastmaster Devashish, yes.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. Can you please confirm that am I audible and visible?
Absolutely.
Thank you. So firstly, there is one wrong that I did as the language evaluator, and I would like to correct it. In the chat box, I wrote hello peeps, and thank you, Toastmaster Roli, for correcting me there. So I would be starting with my evaluation. So language imposters soul and conscience, and without that, humans are nothing. This is not said by me, it is said by the great Elon Musk. I would be, I would recommend all of you to not become perfect, because no one can become perfect in language, but we can all become flawsome in our language. We all have flaws, but we'll have to accept it, and then we'll have to deliver it that yeah, we are awesome and we are confident about it, because faking a confidence is the first faking that will always help you out. So coming to word of the day, flawsome. It was used by Toastmaster Shubham, Toastmaster Bhavya, Toastmaster Ankur, Toastmaster Roli, and Toastmaster Tito. So I would like everyone to applaud them once. The idiom of the day was used by, which is out of the blue. It was used by Toastmaster Alok Kujur, Toastmaster Bhavya, and Toastmaster Ankur. So I would like all of you to please applaud them also. Coming to the good usages of the word disciple, which means a follower, it was used by Toastmaster Jaya. Torch bearer, sail through, inevitable, doubt box, impulsive, think air, essence, aspirant, over and above, heavy learning, mocking, devastated, giggle, gloomy, agonized, defy, herd mentality, and nagging. Torchbearer, we all know the words meaning that the one who leads the change or any kind of thing that is any action that is happening. Sail through means going through an action. Inevitable means certain. Doubt box Toastmaster Gunjan explained it very well. Impulsive means taking any action in a very instantaneously and not giving a second thought about it. Then agonized means being having pain or getting some pain from their. Herd mentality means that you're having a mentality of a crowd, you're into a rat race, you're not having any opinion of your own, so having an opinion is very good. Defy means not accepting something, and aspirant means that you are aspiring to be something, means you want that to be, you want you want to do that. If you are an aspirant, you want to do that. Some of the bad words were few questions. Apart from it, few question. Apart from it, it would have been a few questions. We moving into, it's wrong. We will be using we are moving into. Her thought, we will be using her thoughts, because thoughts are always, multiple. We can't use one thought for anything. Parents wants, it will be parents want, because one, if a noun is plural, we have to use a singular verb. Very, very simple. So it is not a very good word to be used. We can use clear or uncomplicated. Household work, it is wrong. We will be using household works, because household work is never simple. This is my evaluation, and thank you for using the word of the day. And also, you people were really awesome. The speeches were really awesome, and table topic segment was also very differently and uniquely conducted. So I was very thrilled and intrigued by that. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Devashish. That was quite a comprehensive report. Let's see if our R counter and listener is ready. Toastmaster George, you want to try again?
Yes, yes. Toastmaster, can you hear?
Can
you hear me now?
Yes, it's a little easier to hear you now and make out what you're saying.
Okay. So, I'm all right.
Sorry? It's obviously become a real challenge for us to listen to our listener, but we will try again and maybe go to our timer now. Toastmaster Alo, yeah. Toastmaster George, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay. I have a suggestion, Toastmaster George. Do you want to share the questions in the chat window? It can be a quiz for all of us. Toastmaster George, are you able to hear me? Okay, I'm really afraid, but we'll have to move on because in the interest of time, let's, in the interest of time, speak to our timer. Toastmaster Alok, could you, I hope this is not too out of the blue for you. Please take the stage. And unmute yourself. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Roli. Here is my timer's report. Sergeant at Arms started the meeting on 1846 and he was right on time. President Bhavya also gave her introductory speech and all the introductions in 5 minutes 26 seconds. Our counter, George, during his introduction of our counter, used only 1 minute 7 seconds. Language evaluator, Toastmaster Devashish used 51 seconds for his introduction. First speaker Gunjan took 5 minutes 9 seconds for her icebreaker speech. Toastmaster Sajal used 7 minutes 9 seconds for her speech. During the table topic session, the first pair of Toastmaster Shubham and guest Ankur used 3 minutes 7 seconds. Second pair of Toastmaster Gunjan and Gavil Mannat, they used 3 minutes 58 seconds, more than the prescribed time of 3 minutes. Pair number 3, that is Alok and Toastmaster Karthik, we used 2 minutes 51 seconds. Language evaluator Toastmaster Devashish during his report gave his report in 4 minutes 8 seconds. And coming to the speech evaluator, Toastmaster Karthik just took 1 minute 58 seconds to give his speech evaluation, and Toastmaster Tito used 3 minutes and 24 seconds for his evaluation. So this is all from my side. Over to General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Alok. Before I share my observations about these auxiliary role players, can we have the poll for the auxiliary role players, please? And if it is possible, can you just remove the... Okay, it's up now. Yeah, let's vote, people. Can I proceed? Are the votes done? Toastmaster Karthik, have you closed the poll?
Yes, poll is closed. 30 seconds up.
Okay, thank you so much.
Close the poll for table topics also.
All right, yes, let's have that as well.
Everyone, please vote. Time's up.
Thank you. Okay. All right. So I will begin my report now, Mr. Timer. You can begin the timing. I found that the Sergeant at Arms was very punctual and very conscientious. I wish that he were a little more enthusiastic about launching the meeting, and connecting his opening with the theme of the meeting would be a wonderful idea. Also, having a couple of words to introduce our absolutely wonderful club president by inviting her to the stage would be a good idea, because it helps all the other audience members, especially the guests, know who is being called next and what they can look forward to now. It's the establishing a better connect with our audience members is what we want to develop as speakers and communicators. That impact is really important. So let's use every single second that we have on stage for doing that. The second thing that I really liked is the inspirational story that our president had. It was very well connected with the theme of the meeting. And she also had a good touch about the way she goes about the introductions for the guests. I think that she can elaborate a little more on the Toastmaster of the day while inviting the Toastmaster of the meeting on the stage. She usually does that. So I think that's something that she can continue for all of us to learn. And the Toastmaster of the meeting, excellent choice of theme, first of all. The second thing that I really liked was the three torchbearers, the parents and teachers and mentors, where I also feel is an opportunity to connect better with the meeting structure. For example, parents are the ones who prepare us for our lives. They teach us, like they give us a foundation which will help us face our lives and make sure that for every single thing that comes along, we know that we have our parents to bag upon. The teachers always encourage us to learn something new. You're always going from one class to the next higher class, and it means that you're constantly learning something new and unfamiliar, which is what table topics is all about. And thirdly, the mentors guide us by evaluating how well we have done something and where we need to improve. And that's something that the evaluation segment is true towards. So that's how I would have really liked if the three torchbearers could have been connected with the three meeting segments. Next, just be a little more sure of yourself is what I would like to tell our Toastmaster of the meeting, because she had such great content and she was speaking about something that's of value for all of us. We may not be able to implement each and everything in every single second immediately, but it will stay with us and we will be able to incorporate it later on when the opportunity arises. And I loved her joke, share the chemistry with my students. That was so very well done. I think that's like what her life is really about, being a chemistry teacher. And I think that that is where the entire set of three torchbearers came together for me in the Toastmaster of the meeting, who is a parent, who is a teacher, who is a mentor. So who better for us to learn from about how to be the torchbearer of change? Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jaya Ganguly. Uh, then the timer. I love the fact that the timer integrated his role to the theme so very well and even used out of the blue as the idiom during his intro, which was like done so flawlessly, so seamlessly. I really like that. And the R counter, the intro, I really like the fact that he tried to cover the intro for both of his roles in the same introduction time. I think that it could have been done a little more clearly. Like, this is my intro for the listener, and this is my intro for the R counter. Just so that everybody understands that these are two separate roles, especially guests who are attending our meeting for the first time might have a challenge. And that challenge was intensified because the network was not really on our counter and listener side. But still a job very well done to take on two roles and then to connect the introduction over there. I look forward to his report. The language evaluator was truly amazing. First of all, to have the honesty and courage to come out and say that, yeah, this was my mistake and I was corrected. I realized that I didn't want to say that to him. I did not want everyone to know that this was a mistake. But when he highlighted it, I realized that yes, we don't want anybody else to use such kind of colloquial language. We want it to be the formal forum that we know Toastmasters to be. So thank you for doing that. That was again a lesson for me. The Toastmaster who took on the table topics master role today. Just truly amazing. I love the fact that she had this theme of pairs. But what was absolutely outstanding was the set of topics that she had. Challenging societal conventions in such a manner, and hats off to all of the table topic speakers who took on that challenge so very well. The first set of speakers came and articulated their points so well and so profoundly, so respectfully. I just loved it. It was absolutely flawsome. And the quiet confidence of Toastmaster Shubham Rastogi is something that I would love to learn. Then Toastmaster Gunjan and Gavilier Mannat. I love the debate between the parent and the child. What I felt was that the insistence with which both of them were putting their points across was, again, flawsome. Alok and Karthik had a very amusing discussion. I mean, sweetheart, open the door, you never even look at me. They had all of these jokes sprinkled all through. I just truly loved it. I think we should work upon how we interrupt the other person. When this kind of a debate has to go on, the interruptions must be done in such a manner that the other person has had a chance to speak, complete their speech, and then we come in with our point. So that's what Toastmasters twist would be towards a normal debate. Thank you so much for making this entire meeting so enjoyable for me. Thanks to all the auxiliary role players who performed their roles so very well and supported me in such a wonderful manner. I'd like to welcome our Toastmaster of the meeting back to the stage. Thank you.
Thank you, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Roli. I would like to thank all the torch bearers of the meeting. Without the team effort, nothing is possible. Everything is impossible. A teacher is the gardener who sows the seed of imagination today, which will reap into the leaders and innovators of tomorrow. A true guidance is like a small torch in a dark forest. It does not show everything at once, but it gives enough light for the next step. I would like to connect, like for today's instance, the virtual classes, the online classes have started. We all know that the class 10th and class 12th, they didn't have their board exams. And it is the criteria given by the board that is being on the basis of that, the whole year's evaluation is being taken and students are being promoted. And from this, what do we see? That since last year, do we really need the exams? In all the classes, the students were promoted to the next class based on their year's evaluation, not one final exam. Now, today, for instance, I would like to share is that class 10th, especially in some school, the class 11th is started before the board exams or results are really literally out publicly. Now, in this situation, what I found that my students, some of them were really, they found it hard to select the stream. There was parental pressure, there was peer pressure, and some parents, in fact, had been calling up today the whole day that, ma'am, I have already engaged a tutor for science. I have already done for maths, etc., which is not needed. Now, our government, last July, we have come up, they have coming up with National Education Policy, NEP 2020, and in which it's not going to be any more rote learning, but it will be competency based. And there are 4 C's that are listed, and which are the 21st century skills. Do we really need the board exams? Now we have seen in this pandemic that even the class 12 for the first time in what we have known didn't have their board exams, and anyway they will be evaluated on something or the other. So the 21st century skills are the communication, collaboration, critical thinking, creativity. So what I think is that I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone across the water to create many ripples. Mother Teresa. She was unstoppable, not because she did not have failures or doubts, but because she continued despite the failures, and she was given the Nobel Peace Prize. So with today's meeting, I would like to conclude that let us pass the torch. The torch bearers tend to touch the trophy, tricky turns takes twitch, thrive stones to tweak thoughts, then travel to the top. Now I would like to invite our President, Toastmaster Bhavya Jain. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jaya, for conducting such a flawsome meeting and all the role players and speakers who participated in the meeting. So I would like the tech master to please launch the poll for the main role player. Toastmaster Karthik, please launch the poll.
Yes, just launch. Give me a second.
Okay. So the poll is launched. You can vote for Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Jaya Ganguly, Table Topic Master as Bhavya Jain, and General Evaluator as Toastmaster Roli. Okay, so 7 people are left to vote. Please quickly vote. 4 more people.
Like all 3 will win.
Okay, so we have a clear winner now. Thank you everyone for voting. So do we have guests? So I would request guest Jivitesh Singh to please share his feedback. Guest Jivitesh, are you there? Yes. You can share your feedback regarding today's meeting. Sorry, we can't hear you, Jivitesh. I would like to hear the feedback from Gewelian Mannat. Please unmute yourself and share your feedback. Okay, so I think no one wants to give their feedback. We can click a group fee. Everyone can turn on their videos and we can click a group fee. Toastmaster Bela, Toastmaster Karthik. Devashish, you can click the picture.
Doesn't even know how to click.
Okay. I'll do it.
Mac.
Yeah, I'll do it, but you have to do this.
Yeah, actually, I have a new Mac, so I don't know how to do it.
Okay, not an issue. One sec.
Please do it.
1 second, okay? Keep smiling. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. So now I would be sharing the results. So just a second.
Am I audible?
Yes, Jivitesh, we can hear you now. You may share your feedback.
So sorry, there are some network issues at my end.
No issues.
I couldn't hear what your
Yeah, so you can share
question
your
was.
feedback regarding today's meeting, like how you like the meeting and your experience today. I'm extremely sorry we can't hear you. Yes, Jivitesh. We may connect with you later and then you can share your feedback with our Vice President membership. So now I would be sharing the certificates. For the best table topic speaker, the winners are Toastmaster Gunjan Agarwal and Gavilian Mannat Kaur. Congratulations to both of you. The best speaker award goes to Toastmaster Sajal Jain. Congratulations, Sajal. Best auxiliary role player goes to Toastmaster Devashish Pandey. Congratulations, Toastmaster Devashish. And the best evaluator goes to Toastmaster Tito Matthew. Congratulations, Toastmaster Tito. And the last best role player goes to Toastmaster Jaya Ganguly. Congratulations, Toastmaster Jaya. So that's all the certificates for today. So thank you everyone for joining and hope to see you next week. And good night.
And Toastmaster Bhavya, can you please share with me the details of the winners once on the private chat?
Sure.
Thank you.
So Toastmaster George has also shared the counter report, so we all can have a look towards that also. Thanks for joining. Good night. Bye. Good night, everyone. Good night.